Hi guys, and welcome to this weekly stalker for the weekly tea, which turned out to be the Page of Pentacles. Thought it was going to be the Empress, but no, apparently not. Gonna go into that in a minute, but first and foremost, if you are new to this, you do not know what a weekly stalker is. It's a collective reading I do where I look into a energy that kept repeating, and just to see if there's any messages for showing up, right? So take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest, take it for inspiration, do with it what you want. It's a collective reading. And this is for the teas, for the weekly teas that I did, that's I do Sunday. I'm also doing this straight after, basically, almost. Had some raspberry in between, but you know. Right. Yes, as I said, the Empress and the Emperor, yes, also the Emperor have been showing up quite a lot, but I'm still contemplating whether or not I should do a collective on those for the weekly stalker for the mid-monthly, where I was actually planning on doing from victim to survivor. Maybe I'll do both. We will see. We will see. But now we're doing with the Page of Pentacles. We are doing it with this Morgan gear, whatever, tarot deck, and we're also using one that I normally use, which is also the Page of Pentacles. Let's start by archetypes. Now, let me start by starting by showing you what this is about, telling you what it's about. Page of Pentacles can be a messenger, especially in this deck here. Someone bringing good news, but it's also a message that comes with the Page of Pentacles, which is about putting in the work. And what I get here also with the Page of Pentacles is that it is never too late to start. Look at this one. We say that all pages are children. They have children energy. But as you can see here, it's also an energy about it never being too late to start again. It's basically that's it. It's about learning, taking chances, and then putting in the work. Because yes, it is the Pentacle suit. There is work to be done to complete this suit. It can take a while. That's the student energy. But let's get started. Let's look into what message we have here for you guys. Let's start. By the way, if you hear drill, it's a drill. It's from upstairs. It's not. Yeah. Right. What message do you bring here? For it shows up for the between the 15th to the 21st, right? What message do you bring? We have the message of it being 7 of Pentacles and 6 of Wands. It's about having victory, but it's also something that has been a long time coming. What do I mean by that? As I say, that's the same message I get. It's never too late to start. Start something new. Take a new approach. It will require work. It will require that you set time and effort aside here to invest into your vision. That's Abuelita. She has a vision, right? At home, one thing is having an idea. Another thing is also looking at what resources do you have to make it grow. And as it show up with the 7 of Pentacles, you already build yourself up here, right? You already had victories. You have a lot to offer. You have already worked or achieved certain skills in life. Be it in the way that you engage with partnerships, in love, be it the way that you earn money. You do have skills already. It's just a matter of then looking at them in a new way and figuring out, right, how can I then use it to secure long-term goals? What's your vision, basically? That's the message that it comes with. Yeah, it's also about having patience. There we had the Emperor. It's the masculine energy about having patience. And again, the incoming communication. Divine timing is at play. Yeah. If you find yourself in situations where, you know, you might feel as though you're put into a position where you feel as though you don't have any power. Well, the power you have is to invest that time wisely into possibly working on yourself then, in the meantime. But because with the Temperance here, it's patience. As I said to begin with, the suit of Pentacles requires patience. It takes work. It's not a Wands energy. It's not just bam, wham, bam, you know. It takes time before you build your way into something new here. But set your visions. One more message. What else can you bring to the overall message? We're going to see how it plays out in your life, right? What else can we see? Allow the mystery to be a mystery. And when it comes to shaman, what's the shaman? That shows up a lot here. The shaman is someone who's a guide, and when it shows up like this, it's someone who is one that's actually authentic, right? You have shamans and everything. Shamans are basically forms of experts, but they are experts in the way that they inspire, that they basically throw you out into experiences similar to the father energy, basically. When I think of a shaman, I always think of was it in somewhere in Latin America, where was it Peru? Was it? Can't remember where. Yeah, where you went into the forest in the middle of the night, and then basically learning to walk bare feet, and then just thrown out into the forest and learning to navigate the dark. That if shamans work in different ways, depends what background they come from, right? In all cases, what they have in common is that they guide you into yourself by not kind of like telling you what to do. It's more like, yeah, they tell you what to do, but in ways where they give you the tools. Can I say, it teach you the tools, but it's up to you to do the work. And with the riddle here, that is about having the capacity here, and also the audacity to ask critical questions, to ask the right questions as well. Think of it like the Sphinx. The Sphinx that ask you riddles here to open up the gates into your long-term visions. Yeah, ask questions. And that's how you set goals. That's how you work strategically, right? You ask questions in terms of setting goals. What are you trying to achieve? What resources do you have to achieve it? How is timing at play? How do you bring the balance here? That's the student learning. Right, how is it playing out in your life? How is this playing out in your life? That's the message it comes. So it's basically patience and putting in work. And always check up on what it is that you're doing here, so that you continue in ways where you are building the right skills. It's a very simple message, but how is it playing out in your life? Fucking Temperance. Shows up as a communication coming your way. Could be in regards to work, could it be in regards to basically everything, but the way you're manifesting, yeah, it's a communication that comes your way very, very quickly. Still a little bit, there's still something about it that may not be always balanced here. We're going to look into it, but how it plays out in your life is, again, patience. Patience. Patience in terms of expansion, patience in terms of listening to yourself. It's very important here. What I get is like keeping yourself grounded whenever you are faced with riddles. Right? How can I explain this? Be kind to yourself, basically, right? You will not always have all the answers, and sometimes there will be situations where you just want things to happen quickly. Be patient. This is the energy of bliss as well. But if you look at this girl here sitting, she is taking scars. It's not been an easy road to go wherever it is that she is right now to get those wings there, right? See all the broken glasses, right? And they are still there. It's a reminder that you need to be kind towards yourself in any kind of journey that you are on, where you are learning. There will be setbacks, and it will take time, and one day may be good, another may not be so good, right? Be kind, have radical forgiveness for yourself. What else do you bring of message here? And then fast forward movement. There is we have 2 aces of wands here, right? There is something, a brand new path for you. Something that's like you see this inspiration springing up from underneath the earth. That's when you stay grounded, when you ground yourself, and you also, like here, you put your foot into your emotions, your spiritual or whatever. You listen to your intuition as well, the riddles. Then suddenly, from that period where you are grounded, bam, some kind of an enlightenment here will come your way. It could be an offer, an opportunity, a promotion, just something here that can actually get you somewhere. But you know what? They keep seeing the 5 of Swords, so there will be situations where you will feel as though no matter what it is that you do, it's never good enough. And that's where it's about being kind and towards yourself and have patience. There will be possibly debates that would be where it would be better for you to probably disconnect from it. If you feel as though you're being tested, if you feel as though you're being put into a duel. Especially when it comes with that Emperor energy. It's like testing you. It's a test. That's what I'm going. What else? It's a test to see how resilient you are. No. What else do you have here in your life? Is it playing out in your life? But it's coming towards you very quickly. And it has to do with forward movement. But there will be challenges here for you to face. There we have the Father energy in the box. It's about basically breaking out of a particular way of doing things. The Father energy, as I said, it is this testing energy. That's what the Father energy does. The masculine, that Emperor there, that's about teaching you to take responsibility and to work. To work, not just to have things being given to you, but to work your way towards them. And that takes time. It also takes patience. It takes personal strength, perseverance. Come on, man. But definitely forward movement. It's also the Father energy in this case, as I see, is also a matter of time. Time. It's about time. To see you being separated from a particular way of doing things. It's basically going from, you see that being split here. Yeah. Going from a situation where there was a lot of peaceful and possibly fantasy, seeing reality, but still being able to combine these two. It's a split. It's a split. What do I mean by split? That's a good question. It's a test. I keep getting it's a test. It's a test to see your endurance. How much can you take? When you are under a lot of pressure, how will you be able to create balance between the way you thought you were supposed to do things and then what is reality? Right? Can you take a step back here and make long-term goals, and can you give up on situations that may not always be the right path, right? Can you work together with what is given to you, with whatever is given to you, be it can you work with the circumstances that you live in, that you find yourself in at that current time? Can you live in the present and make wise decisions in the present? Can you set up boundaries around yourself and see both sides to a situation? Do you see just split here again, right? Or are you gonna see it as good, bad, how can I explain it? Can you see from a higher level awareness of, yes, this is good, this is bad, this is in between, this is all colors of the situation? Can you see all aspects of it, but still make a decision? Because that's about making a decision. Anywho, what's your role in this? What is your role in this? What is your role in this? Your role is the Fool. You're getting a new start. You're the student here. And then we have the Messenger. Some of you are going to school. It's a new beginning. That's why I love this deck. So you see, this is also one of the new beginning decks here, right? New beginning energies. But you see, it's still an adult. It's not even a teen. It's this Fool here has been in his basement or been part of a few rock groups or whatever, and decided one day, you know what? I can't stay in this anymore. It's time to get out. It's time to get away from home. It's time to pack up my backpack, take with me what I need here, and then make a change from those maps that he used. Right? It's changing the maps that he was following, then bringing that little spiritual dog there with him if he needs to. Because the Fool always comes with a little white dog, in this case a little grey one. Doesn't really matter. It can be a German Shepherd if you need to. It's just about, I love this little dog here. kind of want to look into what dog... I want to look into what message the dog brings with him or her. You know what? Show me the message of the Fool. You may be coming from a partnership here that was heavy. A lot of passion here. But I'm also getting as though you are on the lookout for a partnership. And until then, you have that little dog there. Show me what message do the dog have to you. The dog is telling you to have resilience. And to... Why, you also hear a lot. This Knight of Rods, which is about fast forward movement. But the dog is telling you to go fight for it. But remember the plans here. To not make any impulsive decisions, basically. It's telling you to have resilience. But don't be afraid to open up if you have to. What else do you have? The Empress in reverse. It's telling you to stop giving and giving and giving without asking for anything in return. By the way, the dog in tarot here represents the universe or whatever. Think of it as your spirit guide. You can think of it of whoever you want it to be. There's a new beginning here. But it's about making solid investments here. That's how you get things growing. It's about to bring balance, you need to bring in solid investments. Yes, be patient. But only be patient if it's a solid investment, right? You can be patient and wait for something to grow that never grows because it was not solid to begin with. But the little dog here is telling you, because I see you ask, where's the Fool coming from? Fool is coming from a partnership here. Show me more about the partnership. Where there was a lot of impulsivity. A lot of it. It's probably someone here that was still dating other people. It's the fuckboy, fuckgirl mentality here. Or someone that's in and out, in and out. And whenever they needed to do the right thing, they may have decided to go with someone from the past. In all cases, yeah, I'm seeing someone here being stuck to a situation. I'm seeing teenage love, okay? I'm seeing teenage love, but I'm seeing someone here being in a commitment here where they were allowing people to take from their resources, be it time, money, effort, just your attention. When you invest into these fuckboy, fuckgirl situations and you allow them access to your time, take all your nights. They take your nights, so you lose that attention you need in the morning for your work, and they give you nothing really in return, other than a bad night's sleep. They take you, for some cases, like your insanity. For those people who sit there and wait for the next text, right? They take up a lot of your time, your resources, all of your attention, impulsivity, and that can affect the way you make decisions. That's all right. Come here, the practical, earthy Capricorn saying about making those wise decisions in terms of being realistic and seeing, am I engaging into situations here where it's actually tipping me off? Is it taking from me? Or are we giving to each other? And the dog here is telling you to set up those boundaries and not wait around for situations here where nothing is really growing. Take on this new, but learn from it, and doing it in a new way will need some work to it, right? What else do we have on the archetype here underneath it? Not there. It was the box, and it was the Queen here. There we have a strong, and two feminine, the Queen and the Crone. And then we have a commitment here. Someone is probably getting divorced, I don't know. And some of you, by the way, is also giving birth. For some of you, this is also about giving birth. I keep seeing the Fool coming out of the Empress. Which is, yes, giving birth, which reminds me again, I need to remember that. It's a very special person, has a birthday. Two people have very special birthdays today. Anywho, with the box here, it's about, again, as I said, set up boundaries, bring up that structure. Why do we have structure? What's the box about? Other than structure, is about bringing those spaces, clear understandings. When we set visions here, we can have very abstract visions. When you are in your feminine energy and can be a little bit out of whack sometimes, and you give too much, right? And you forget to put into voice your own visions, right? and you allow other people to guide you in ways where they are dictating you. To guide is to inspire. The father energy inspires. He doesn't take control, right? The feminine energy here, when they become too submissive, they allow other people to speak for them, and they get lazy or whatever. You know what? You can look it up. But what I'm getting here of the message is that the box here is about you putting your creative visions into words, so they fit into a box that you can then put into a bigger goal, right? You can, of course, you can make the box as flexible if you want to, but in this box here lies that heart, lies that creativity, lies that vision of what it is that you want to do, and then you can work from it rather than going into the world saying, I don't know what I want, I don't have any purpose, I don't know what I want, so because of that I'm gonna look everywhere else and have someone else tell me what my purpose is. It's up to you. That's what you give birth to. The dog is telling you to give birth to your own new beginning, and it will take time. It's not gonna be just you make the decision here and saying, that's what I want. Yes, one thing is saying that's good start, right? That is what you want. But then comes the question here. The riddle is, can you then identify what else you need here? What are all those pentacles? What do you have? You already have achieved a lot. How can you mix it together? How can you be an alchemist of your own future here? How can you mix everything you already experienced together and turn it into something new? Don't be afraid of it. And don't be afraid of failure. Absolutely do not be afraid of failure. Take time. Take chances. Be realistic, but don't be afraid. It's just, if there's anything you can learn from this impulsivity, if you have been dealing with situations where there's been idiots like it came in and out, is that first and foremost, learn not to be as reckless. But you know, actually, okay, like be inspired how their recklessness, how their recklessness hurt you, and then ask yourself, do you want to be the same? I don't know, with the queen underneath here, that's having a lot of dignity and a lot of grace. That's the queen energy. That's different than the king. The king is about, you know, being a leader, in a position of leader. The queen is also in a position of leader. For me, she's always the spin doctor. But she leads from her heart here. But with the crone here, that's also about learning to be alone. For some of you, I really get as though I get like a duality here. That someone is... Right, let's not go there. But, the crone, when she shows up like this, is someone that has been abandoned. She was a queen, now she's not a queen. She's basically being thrown out into the cold and learning to do things alone here. For those of you who need it, right? You don't have. For others of you, it's also like a commitment coming. But because it is a new beginning. I get as though there is actually some... But there's a change going on as well. Alright, let's not go there. I'm not in the mood for that. Right, what are you blind to? What are you blind to in this situation? What are you blind to in this situation? What are you blind to? What can't, let's say it like this, what can't you control? What can't you control in this situation? Justice. Cannot control the Libra, no. Whoop. You cannot control how other people make decisions. You put in the work that you can, right? Show me what else here. Put in the work. Don't be lazy. That's also what I'm getting here when it comes to your role in it, is that know when to stop giving and know where to give. When you invest too much of your creativity, that which brings nurturing powers, that which nurtures in your life, which includes your attention and your physical assets, which is your time, right? Because these things you never get back. They're part of, they're not maybe your mind, but they affect your mind. All right, your time. your attention, your love, your everything, when you give that to situations that do not grow, you don't set up those boundaries, you become so tired. You become so tired that you can throw away other areas of your life. That's really what I get with your role here, because what you can't control is how other people make decisions. And this is a message in your life that has to do with you taking on something new here, right? What can't you control in this situation? Yeah, you cannot control how other people say no and how other people fix their own shit. That's also what I get here. For those of you who have tried to be a fixer-up for other people, you cannot do that. You will waste too much of your own time and effort by trying to solve other people's problems. If it's nothing you're hired for. And even when you're hired to solve, like for instance, if you work in, I don't know, I'm not a therapist, but everyone knows where there are situations where you are hired to be a consultant of a sort. There are still situations where you can't force the will of others. Work within the boxes that you are set in and learn to recognize those boxes, those limitations there are. That's also the Father. Learn to recognize the limitations so you know your own limitations, and therefore you don't drive yourself tired, right? You don't waste too much of yourself. When you recognize those boxes, you will also recognize when it's time to go, because you cannot control how other people make decisions for themselves. If you do, you will just find yourself in a mental prison. Yeah. Now, do the right thing. And it's also not your task here to give so much of yourself to help other people grow, and then you don't grow. There was one who showed me, it was a tarot reader ages ago. YouTube, can't remember. She showed this amazing, illustration. You know what? I'm going to find my glasses. I'm going to do the same. Hold on. All right, we're back. And so is the drill. We're going this with the drill. Right, this was a tarot reader a long time ago that showed me this. But it is, imagine that this is you, right? You have a big cup of love. That is like the Ace of Cups. You have this cup. This is all your time, your effort. This is what you need to make things grow. Consider this the Empress, right? Consider this a Knight of Wands that comes in with an empty cup and takes from you. And then you fill up this Knight, which in this case is maybe a bond cup, right? See how much you give. You give a bit, you give more of yourself, right? And then this Knight, because it's unreliable, goes and takes whatever you just gave to them, and they go waste it into a little bit there, which by the way could be their work, could be another person, this could be a friend over here, right? But they give a little bit there, and if they are just similar, same quality as this person, they don't give anything back, right? They're empty again. Their cup is empty. They come to you. You continue to give. Do you see? But they never give back to you. They give there. Whoop, they give a little bit to their work, another person, family. Oops, they ran out again here. They ran out. You see, the cup is empty. They go back to you. You give again. You give again. Right? But you lose every time. They never give. Oops, and now there came another one. They found another one. Start giving there and there. Then they give a little bit here and there. Every time they run out, they come running back to you. And you give, and you run out of water. You see? That there was something you needed to make things grow. You needed this water to water your plants, right? So how do you build this up again? You get a new hobby. You start doing things for yourself. And slowly but surely, which is not from this person, right? You start building yourself up a little bit by little bit. But if you're not careful, because they will run out. When you run out of water, this is gone. But when they see you have more water, they will come back and ask for more. And the lesson here is to learn to say no. And then, when you find yourself in a balanced connection You will run in to the King of Cups. Why not? At least he has pants on today. You will run into this one, right? And you know what you will do together in a proper relationship? Whenever you're down here, your King of Cups will give you. When your King of Cups is down, they will give you. There you have equal give and take, right? On a wet table. That's how it works. When you have an Empress that gives and gives and gives, she becomes tired. That's the feminine energy, and she forgets to say no. It's about learning to say no to this mother, to these that come here, right? And now, let me get back to the tarot. Hold on. So yes, back to the tarot here. When it comes to this Page of Pentacles, and with the Empress here, your role in it is to learn to set up those boundaries for yourself here, right? Because that glass there, that little 9 of Wands, can come back with all sorts of excuses. Let's say, what else here is hidden to you? What else is hidden to you? You are nobody's healer, right? Unless they pay you to do so and you're educated for it, I don't know. And you know, I don't know, there are many ways of being a healer. I know sometimes I come off as arrogant, but that's because I am very mindful of a yeah, let's just get, what can't you control? The womb. And then we have the Queen again. If someone says no because they choose something else, that's not up for you to alter. People have free will, they can do whatever they want. You know what? Let's look into what you can control, because as I said here, the little dog here wants to tell you that set up boundaries here and don't wait around for idiots, right? There's something else here that's better for you. What can you control? What is your strength and what can you control? And then we're going to look into the outcome, right? What can you control and what's your strength? The Four of Swords, your own healing. The Devil, healing your own past conditioning. The Devil here, that's all about past conditioning, childhood bullying, bad siblings if you had that situations. Well, the good thing about siblings is there's always something challenging about it, right? Mass media, things you were conditioned into, in whatever form. When I looked at that, I was just reminded back to one day when I was at that point, in my own opinion, still a child, turning on the television and watching people jumping out of World Trade Center. Beauty of mass media sometimes, huh? That's actually in a wound that has stuck with me forever. Turning on the television, expecting to see cartoons, and then I see people jumping out of a tower. And not only that, it's all fucking plane crash into a tower. And you sit there like, Dad, what is that? Come on. But you know, all forms of situations that have conditioned you. Because I can tell you what that did. That particular experience marked the end of my childhood along with other situations. But it was basically an introduction to, alright, so people go to war and kill each other. Right? Goodbye childhood. But what you can control is your own healing. Doing your own writing also. Doing your own work here on yourself. Jupiter and Libra, which is also learning about partnerships, but especially your own patterns. But and that is probably because when I look at you, where you're coming from a partnership here, right? That's being a student of yourself. A student of your own healing and taking charge. Never be afraid to reach out for help and be kind and caring and forgiving towards yourself here, right? What else can you control? What else can you control? Also your own, this is also about taking on a new mindset. By the way, Four of Swords is about whenever you learn, the more you learn, in terms of here, especially also Jupiter, you learn, you learn, the more you learn, the more perspectives you have to pull upon when you're trying to make sense of what the hell is going on around you. There are, for instance, far more perspectives than crying out wolf, if you know what I mean. Let's not go there. But what do we have here for it? What can you control? What's your strength? The Fool and the Ten of Wands. It's the end. You have done it. You will be able here, through this work and your strength, you will be able to identify red flags. The moment things become heavy in ways where you feel as though you are taking on too many burdens, right? Too many burdens, and you don't feel safe sharing those burdens. Delegating responsibility, for instance, right? Not feeling as though you have to take on the world on yourself. Don't feel as though you have to solve the problems for everyone else. Where there's a community, a teamwork, in a partnership, in teamwork in general. That's why, when you study, we work in teams as well. We learn to work together as a group. Your strength here will be to recognize those as red flags. That's the work to put in here. It will take effort. And also remember to take it like a pause sometimes, right? That's why we also have pauses. In general, in school, in work, we have pauses. So that our minds become clear. Because when we forget to sleep, we don't forget to eat. Another cross here. Just looking at the time at dinner. We actually get a little bit out of whack. We need all of those nurturance because we are humans. Right? But what you can't control is how other people feel safe in how they form relationships. What makes them feel safe is not up for you to determine that. It's just about you finding your own path here. What's up with that room? Yeah. So if you stumble across people here where you look at them and you see them as you are able to identify clearly why they are doing the way they are doing. In ways also, if you're able to identify it from a rational perspective, from a eagle perspective, can we say like that, where you are able to clearly identify certain traits where you would say maybe you should, I don't know, seek counseling. It's not your responsibility to take it on you to point them towards it. I mean, this channel, for instance, one of them, all I can do is suggest it if I see it. Or if I get the sense of it, but it's not, it's not for people themselves. Same thing here goes in this reading here. It's not for people themselves. So let's see that your strength is here. You're putting down these heavy burdens that you're carrying with you and take on a new start. You have much potential. Why? You know what? I almost want to look into this. Do you know what? Why do you keep showing up? What are you about? The Five of Swords keep popping up. What are you about? You are about victory. Oh, of course. You know what? Whenever you start shining and glowing up, you will have haters, guys. That's just how it is. There will always be people who disagree with you in ways. If they can be different. I don't know. Not much about hater mentality, to be honest. But what I can guess is that there are two ways you can get haters, right? There can be those where if you take back your power and you take back your control. For instance, if you have people who like to live through others, you take back your control, you take back your power, you take back your voice. They can start they can start hate you or shame you and do whatever they want, trying to prevent you from leaving, right? But that's their problem, and they can start hating, can start shaming, and then there can be people if you don't give them what they want, they can start hating on you, shaming you, so you fall into line, so you do whatever they want, so you give them what they want. People can also sometimes hate other people just for the fact that they're happy. That one I have no rational explanation to. That's one of those that are probably on my bucket list of trying to probably get some insight to at some point. Like, Why do people hate people for being happy? Well, matter of fact, this science says it happens. So, and it is, yeah. Jealousy, envy. I don't know, guys. It doesn't really matter either. So that's what this was about, because it has shown up quite a lot. It's like, why do we have the Five of Swords? It means basically, do not let people disencourage you from putting in the work. Right? Don't let anyone tell you that you don't know what you're doing. You can't put in the work. If you are in a position of Page of Pentacle, you know, it's basically like being enrolled into a school program or some kind of a program, and you have people here telling you you don't know what to do, so they encourage you to drop out. That's not good, because if you got accepted, then you had what it took. If you got accepted, then you had what it took, whatever that means. Right? Let's see what will be the most likely outcome in this situation, whatever this situation is about, which is about, you know, having patience and staying your path. Remember to ask critical questions whenever someone here may challenge you. Don't take it on you to solve everyone else's problems. Don't be a waiter to everyone else, basically. Unless you get paid for it, all right? You know, that is a job, right? So, what will be the most likely outcome here? Strength and the King of Swords, which will be lots of confidence, high levels of confidence, a lot of dignity, a lot of grace, a lot of knowledge. And you know what knowledge about? Possibly the mechanism of equal give and take, and also what non-equal give and take does to the mind, especially in this case if any of you are breaking free from a connection where there's been breadcrumbing. It's been going on for quite some time. I would suggest you do the research on how breadcrumbing can affect the reward systems here, because it's not fun to break free from forms of breadcrumbing. It's not as easy as just saying, I don't want to do it anymore, right? If you've been in a pattern here for repeated time, for a long time, if you have fuck my communication skills right now. If you have found yourself in a prolonged period of time where there was breadcrumbing, it could have affected the neurological brain, neurological reward system. I am not scientific in this context here. I know of it. I can't remember all the specific terms, but if I were to go into the explanation, this reading would take forever again. But there's something about it, you know. It's not going to be easy. Let's just say it like that. It's not going to be easy. It will take time, and you will sometimes feel as though you're going crazy. It's not. It's because the body needs time to follow your mind. All right. There's a reward system that needs to be broken down. You can Google it. I went through it in other readings ages ago, but you know I can't remember which ones. What else do we have? Most likely outcome. So if any of you are looking for a divorce, expect a divorce. The Queen of Pentacles showed up there in the reverse. What else? 7. Some of you may actually be getting out of that. You will have the strength here to get out of any kind of illusion of you probably chasing a partnership just for the sake of partnership, that you do not have it within you yourself to build something up. Oh, but you do. What you do, you will, and then we have strong view here. There will be a clear understanding that when it comes to your talents, to what you can, you have it here. But it takes work, so it's there. It's the energy here of just sitting there and expecting it to fall into your lap, or expecting it to happen like this to get the results without putting in the work. You will understand that it takes time, and you will build up your confidence, because on this journey here, when you work through the Suit of Pentacles, there will be trials and tests, and there will be tests, right? There will be situations where your skills, your work here will be tested. For instance, such as getting out of a breadcrumbing situation here, where just that of saying, you know what, I went an entire week without looking at the profile or something like that. That's a massive accomplishment, right? You know, and then one day you can like put a mark there and say, I went 2 months without looking at the profile or expecting a message. Or whenever the thought of them, whatever the situation here is, comes into your head, you then use techniques here to redirect your attention, right? And then one day you can say, you know, it's been 2 months since I had that thought, because every time the thought came into your mind, you were able to redirect it, you were able to restructure, right? You deconstructed your entire mind pattern probably. Again, I am not an expert on this. Look up professionals if this is anything that is relevant to you, right? I ain't that one. But most likely outcome here, putting in the work. And if who is this Queen of Pentacles? Come on. Someone that's being put on hold here. Also, first and foremost is you getting your enlightenment, right? And for some of you, if there's a reconciliation with the past that ends up in a little bit of a heartbreak here, because someone will most likely. All right, I'm not going into that situation. I'm not. I keep getting as though someone here will probably. Right. If you have engaged yourself with someone who was in a steady relationship, in a high level of commitment, they are going most likely to reconcile with that connection. Okay? Done deal. That's what we have here for you. I am gonna jump straight into, well, first and foremost, I'm getting dinner and fixing what I needed to fix here, and then I'm gonna do some other Stalker of the weeks or month here for you, so they are out of the way. Take what you can from this, what you need, use it as inspiration. Some of you could have been through it, some of you may not have. Some of you have been through it, some of you have not. For some of you, the message here, in terms of like for the week here, may only just be, you know what, you are starting on a journey here. You're taking on a new path. This is how it is working through a suit or pentacle, okay? It takes time. Be kind, be caring, be forgiving, have forgiveness for yourself, and believe in yourself. Your strength is your capacity here to take a step back. Whenever things get hectic here, right? Take a step back. Do the work on yourself. Get out of your head and into your body, and listen to your body in the process. You cannot control the decisions of others. What you can control is how you respond to the decisions of others. That's it. Take care, guys. I will see you. Ciao.